Hello and a very warm welcome. Thank you, Madhulika and Renu, for joining in. We are diving into a new chapter today. The chapter that we are going to talk about is life values, your personal compass. हमारी जो वैल्यूज होती हैं उसके हिसाब से हम अपनी लाइफ जीते हैं. हमारा इंटरनल कंपस इज समथिंग दैट गिव्स डायरेक्शन और हमारा इंटरनल कंपस इज आवर वैल्यूज. वैल्यूज क्या होती हैं? दे आर द प्रिंसिपल्स दैट वी होल्ड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट इन आवर लाइफ. ठीक है. आ, बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो कॉन्शियसली नहीं चूज करते हैं उनकी वैल्यूज. दे इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम देयर फैमिली, फ्रॉम देयर कल्चर, फ्रॉम देयर सोसाइटी. Let's understand what does Tony Robbins has to share on values. Let me share the screen. Chapter number 15, Life Values, Your Personal Compass. Nothing splendid has ever been achieved except by those who dared believe that something inside of them was superior to circumstances. Courage, determination, perseverance, dedication. As Ross Perot conducted the tense briefing in Dallas, he saw those qualities reflected in the faces of the men he had handpicked for an extraordinary rescue mission. In the early days of 1979, civil unrest and anti-American hysteria were rising to a fever pitch in Iran, and only a few days before, two of the Perot's corporate executives in Tehran had been explicitly jailed. Bail was set at $13 million. When high-powered diplomatic negotiations failed to get results, Perot decided that there was only one way to get these men out. He had to do it himself. Calling upon the expertise of legendary Army Colonel Arthur Bull Simons to lead this daring raid, Perot quickly assembled a crack team of his top executives to pull off the jailbreak. They were selected because they had all been in Tehran and had military experience. He called his men eagles to signify high flyers who used their initiative, got the job done, and gave results, not excuses. The rewards would be high if they won, but the risks were even greater. The mission was completely unauthorized, and not only was failure a possibility, but so was death. What drove Ross Perot to muster all his resources to take the risk and defy the odds? Clearly, he is a man who lived by his values. Courage, loyalty, love, commitment, and determination are all values that give him an exceptional capacity to care and a strength of will that is legendary. These same values were the force that drove him to build his company, EDS, Electronic Data System Corporation, from $1,000 investment into an expertise into an enterprise worth billions of dollars. He rose to the top because of his capacity to evaluate and select the right men. He chose them based on the strict code of values, and he knew that with the right people, those who held high enough standards, all he would have to do was give them the job to do and get out of their way. हमने बहुत सारी कंपनीज में जॉब प्रोफाइल्स में भी देखा है कि देर आर सर्टेन सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज दैट दे आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ पर्सन टू हैव. एंड अगर वैल्यूज मैच होती हैं देन ओनली यू आर कॉल्ड ऑन फॉर द जॉब इंटरव्यू. Now he would have the ultimate test of the people he had selected as he called upon them a summon their finest resources and rescue a few members of the corporate family. The story of their mission and the challenges they met can be found in the book On Wings of Eagles. Suffice to say that despite obstacles beyond compare, Parrot's heroic rescue mission succeeded and brought home his most valued asset, his people. A man's character is his guardian divinity. Values guide our entire decision, every decision, and therefore our destiny. Those who know their values and live by them become the leaders of the society. They are exemplified by outstanding individuals throughout our nation, from the boardrooms to the classrooms. For example, did you see the movie Stand and Deliver? It told the story of Maverick math teacher Jamie Escatlante. Excellente. Were you as inspired as I was by the heroic strides he made in transmitting his students his passion for learning? He got them to associate in their nervous system, at the deepest level, a sense of pride in their capacity to master those things others were certain they could never learn. His example of commitment translated to these young people the power of values. They learned from his discipline, confidence, and the importance of the team flexibility and the power of absolute determination. हमारे इंडिया में भी ऐसी कुछ एक मूवीज बनी है आई थिंक हिचकी इज वन ऑफ देम जहाँ पे ऐसा ही एग्जाम्पल सेट किया गया है वेर इन टीचर हैज गॉन बियॉन्ड हर you know normal limitations to get the kids of her students get the results they were seeking. He did not talk to these kids in the barrio about what they should do with their lives. He was a living demonstration, a new definition of what was possible. He not only got them to pass calculus placement tests in numbers that everyone thought were impossible, but he also got them to change their belief about who they were and what they were capable of if they consistently committed to holding themselves to a higher standard. If we want the deepest level of life fulfillment, we can achieve it only one way, and that is by doing what these two men have done, by deciding upon what we value most in life, what our highest values are, and then committing to live by them every single day. Unfortunately, this action is far too rare in today's society. Too often, people have no clear idea what's important to them. They waffle on any issue. The world is a mass of gray to them. They never take a stand for anything or anyone. If you and I are not clear about what's most important in our lives, what we truly stand for, then how can we ever expect to lay the foundation for a sense of self-esteem? Much less have the capacity to make effective decisions. If you have ever found yourself in a situation where you had a tough time making a decision about something, the reason is that you were not clear about what you value most within that situation. We must remember that all decision making comes down to values clarification. When you know what's most important to you, making a decision is quite simple. Most people, though, are unclear about what's most important to their lives, and thus decision making becomes a form of internal torture. This is not true for those who have clearly defined the highest principles of their lives. It wasn't tough for Ross Perret to know what to do. His values dictated it. They acted as his personal compass to guide him through a situation fraught with peril. Recently, Escalante left the Los Angeles school system that he had been working in to move to Northern California. Why? He could no longer be a part of an organization where he believed there were no standards for the teacher's performance. Who are the most universally admired and respected people in our culture? Aren't they those who have a solid grasp of their own values? People who not only profess their standards but live by them? We all respect people who take a stand for what they believe, even if they don't concur with their ideas. If even if we don't concur with their ideas about what's right and what's wrong. There is a power in individuals who congruently lead lives where the philosophies and actions are one. Most often, we recognize this unique state of human condition as an individual with integrity. Culturally, these people have come in many forms, from the John Waynes and Ross Perot's to Bob Hopes and Jerry Lewis, to Martin Sheens and Ralph Nader, to the normal cuisines, whatever, and Walter Cronkite's. Cronkite's. The fact of matter is that those we perceive to be congruent in their values have the tremendous capacity to have an influence within our culture. Do you remember the 90 newscast with Walter Cronkite? Pata nahi, I have not heard of it. I have not listened to it, whatever it is. Anybody of you know it? And the movie that we were talking about earlier in this chapter?
No, Karishma.
No, not even me. But it reminded me of Three Idiots also.
Yes, Three Idiot is one of
Ah,
those movies.
yes, one of those
Tare
resonating with
Zameen
that.
Par. Tare
Yes,
Zameen.
Tare Zameen Par. Absolutely. Yes.
Walter was with us on all the most important days of our lives during tragedies and triumphs. When John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and then when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon, Walter was part of our family. We trusted him implicitly. At the beginning of Vietnam War, he reported on it in the standard way, with an objective view of our involvement. But after visiting Vietnam, his view of the war changed, and his values of integrity and honesty required that, rightly or wrongly, he communicated his disillusionment. Regardless of whether you agree with him or not, the impact he had may have been one of the final straws that caused many of the Middle America to begin to question the war for the first time. Now, it was not just a few radical students protesting Vietnam, but Uncle Walt. The conflict in Vietnam was truly a value conflict within our cultures. People's perception of what was right and wrong, what could make a difference, was a battle fought at home while the boys overseas put their blood and gut on the line, some not knowing why. An inconsistency of value among our leaders had been one of the greatest sources of pain in our culture. Watergate certainly wounded many Americans. Yet, through it all, our country has continued to grow and expand because there are individuals who continually come forth to demonstrate what's possible and hold us to a higher standard. Whether it's Bob Geldof focusing the attention of the world on the famine in Africa, or Ed Roberts mobilizing the political forces necessary to change the quality of life for the physically challenged. Every time a value is born, existence takes a new meaning. Every time one dies, some part of that meaning passes away. Wow. Every time a value is born, existence takes on a new meaning. Every time one dies, some part of that meaning passes away. We need to realize that the direction of our lives is controlled by the magnetic pull of our values. They are the forces in front of us, consistently leading us to make decisions that create the direction and ultimate decisions of our lives. This is true not only for us as individuals, but also for the companies, organizations, and the nation of which we are a part. Clearly, the values that our founding father held most dear had shaped our nation's destiny. The values of freedom, choice, equality, a sense of community, hard work, individuality, challenge, competition, prosperity, and respect for those who have the strength to overcome great adversity have consistently sculpted the experience of American life and thus our joint destinies. These values have caused us to be an ever expanding country that innovates and continually provides a vision of possibility for people the world over, for the people the world over. Would a different set of national and cultural values have shaped our country differently? You bet. What if the value held most important by our forefathers was stability or conformity? How would that have changed the face of our great land? In China, for example, one of the highest value in the culture is the value of a group versus of that of an individual. The idea that an individual needs must be subservient to the groups. How has this shaped Chinese different life differently than Americans' life? The fact is, within our nation, there are constant shifts going on while the values of the culture as a whole. While there are certain foundational values, significant emotional events can create shift in individuals and therefore in the companies, organizations, and countries that they make up. The changes in Eastern Europe are clearly the most profound value shift that have occurred in the world community in our lifetime. What happens with countries and individuals also happens with companies. IBM is an example of a corporation whose direction and destiny was set up by its founder, Tom Watson. How? He clearly defined what the company stood for, what should be most important for all people to experience regardless of what products, service, or financial climates they would enter in the future. He guided Big Blue into being one of the world's largest and most successful companies. What can we learn from all this? In our personal and professional lives, as well as on the global front, we must get clear about what is important in our lives and decide what we will live by these values. We will live by these values no matter what happens. This consistency must occur regardless of whether the environment rewards us for living by those our standards or not. We must live by our principles even when it rains on the parade, even if no one gives us the support we need. The only way for us to have long term happiness is to live by our highest ideals, to consistently act in accordance with what we believe our life is truly about. But we cannot do this if we don't clearly know what our values are. This is the biggest tragedy in most people's lives. Many people know what they want to have, but have no idea who they want to be. Getting things simply will not fulfill you. Only living and doing what you believe is the right thing will give you the sense of inner strength that we all deserve. Remember that your values, whatever they are the compass that is guiding you to your ultimate destiny. They are creating your life path by guiding you to make certain decisions and take certain actions consistently. Not using your internal compass intelligently results in frustration, disappointment, lack of fulfillment, and a nagging sense that life could be more if only somehow some things were different. On the other hand, there is an unbelievable power in living your values, a sense of certainty, an inner peace, and a total congruency that few people have ever experienced. Wow. All right. Kange, cameras off. Madhulika, are you traveling?
On.
Hmm. Values. Values. आपकी क्या values हैं? Do you know?
ज्यादा ही authentic हूँ मैं, honest, which sometimes hampers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
थोड़ा बहुत you have to be little, you know, little diplomatic in your life. Should be. Means um, not to be hurt, harm anyone, but to make things good for some time, for the
And
betterment of others also. I think
how do you think you can make things better for yourself and others?
for myself, though, of course, I am being. Matlab, if I think I am on the right path and my values are resonating with my actions, um, फिर ना I become compassionate and try to make others understand कि these are my values. मैं थोड़ी सी वो authentic हो जाती हूँ with my people, with my family कि this is the thing, ये मैं इससे हट नहीं सकती. I don't know why. तो फिर they understand also. क्योंकि
Boundary
people are,
setting is
I'm
another
saying,
word.
हाँ जी,
You
what?
set your boundaries accordingly. You set
Yes,
your
now I've started.
non-negotiables as per your values.
Yes, I was not able to make you understand in this way. Right. Now I have. Before I was very people pleaser. Or मतलब I used to feel guilty to say no. But
Hmm.
now I am not at all like that. I think 5 to 10% is still there because वो जाता नहीं है. होता है कहीं ना कहीं because you cannot see if the person is using that manipulative things which which always affects me and I used to say yes to that thing.
Hmm.
तो फिर वो कुछ कुछ वो होता है पिन पॉइंट होता है लाइफ में
Hmm.
कि हाउ कैन आई बी सो रूड एंड सो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एंड से नो फिर ना नाउ अ डेज आई टेक अ पॉज इन माई लाइफ बिफोर डूइंग एनीथिंग. And sometimes I'm impulsive also. Can't help it. But I get along. But I'm happy. Today I feel yes. Now I'm feeling peace with myself. Yes. The thing is peace with myself.
Amazing. What are
Yes.
the 5 values that you live by?
Mm, being authentic, but sometimes I
पता है
navigate.
values क्या होती हैं?
हाँ जी बताओ.
Values वो होती हैं, कोई मार दे काट दे तभी भी हम उसी पे रहें.
Right.
आंधी आए तूफान आए तभी भी हम उसी पे
Yes.
रहें.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Non-negotiable that you were saying about.
Yes.
Yes, very true.
Reflect on it. What are your values?
हाँ मैं किसी को खुश करने के लिए चेंज नहीं हो पाती हूँ. आई डोंट. नो नॉट अब नहीं. पहले कर लेती थी कि हाँ अथॉरिटी को भी आई शुड बी वेरी मीन्स जैसे पीपल आर डूइंग टू दैट अथॉरिटी. आई डोंट. ठीक है. वॉट एवर यू फील लाइक वॉट एवर थिंक अबाउट मी आई डोंट केयर. These are my values. I will. जो मैं पहले थी अब मैं वही हूँ. That's it.
Amazing. Let's hear it
And
from you, Madhulika.
Hi, Karishma. Yeah, so it's a deep reflective thing that yes, what are the values? We all think that yes, I don't lie. Nobody, the thing is only this nobody is going to accept that yes, I lie whenever it is needed. Right? But this is the reality. I tell you what my values are. My values, one core value that I practice, I really believe, don't complain, don't condemn, don't criticize. That
Wow.
is what I live by. I live by. I don't
Wow.
complain, I don't criticize, I don't condemn. If it is good with me, I'm good with you. If it is not good with me, then also I'm good with you. I will just make my safe distance. It will not bother me anymore. This is one of my value which I have really practiced, like the challenge that
Hmm.
fine, for next 10 days, I will not complain. Whether whatever it is, professional front, personal front, kids, and I have seen um, just by inculcating and practicing this one value,
Hmm.
relationships has changed because I'm not complaining anymore.
Wow.
So yeah, relations has
तो
changed.
कंप्लेंट्स होती ही नहीं है, दिल में भी नहीं आती कि वैसे ही बस शट डाउन कर दिया?
नहीं नहीं दिल में भी नहीं आती बिकॉज आई हैव मेड इट अ कॉन्शियस एफर्ट दैट फाइन आई विल नॉट कंप्लेन लाइक नो इट्स ओके फाइन इट इज देयर चॉइस सो दिल में भी नहीं आती आई एम पीसफुली लिविंग you
वाह.
know that shifts that has shifted how I reciprocate, what my body language will be, what my take on that will be. Because अगर मैं सिर्फ react नहीं करूंगी और मन में रखूंगी, then it will somehow it will reflect. It is not reflecting because I'm not keeping it in even in my mind. So that is what one value that I have practiced. I have deliberately and religiously I have practiced this that I will not complain.
वाह.
किसी ने फोन किया किसी ने नहीं किया कोई आके साइड वालों के घर में आके चला गया किसी फ्रेंड ने सिर्फ मुझे बुलाया और किसी दूसरे को नहीं बुलाया उसने बोला सो मतलब आई डोंट हैव एनी कंप्लेंट यू कॉल मी आई एम गुड यू डोंट कॉल मी आई एम इवन गुड
Amazing. That's really powerful. That's extremely, I would say, a
yeah and
highest order.
on this I will there was a very beautiful phrase even when it rains on our parade, I will not compromise on this. You will never find me standing in a queue of complaining. I will always be a solution seeker.
Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed because I look forward to be that kind of a person, but I'm not there yet. I'm work in progress. Hmm.
When we are ready to change our thoughts, are you ready to change our thoughts? If you are ready, then definitely you'll get that because you are ready to work on yourself. That yes, we can change. I can change myself.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Beautiful.
I realized it recently what happened the day जब बहुत बारिश हो रही थी दिल्ली में गुड़गांव पूरा ब्लॉक हो गया था तो मुझे यहाँ से ऑल द वे द्वारका से मुझे अम, पुरानी दिल्ली के आसपास ही लगा लो वो जो एरिया है हुमायूं टॉम आई वेंट ऑल द वे ड्राइविंग और मैं यहाँ से पहले चली गई क्योंकि मेरा 9 से 10 का एक ऑनलाइन मुझे इंटरव्यू लेना ही लेना था वहां 10 बजे से ट्रेनिंग शुरू थी राइट सो मैं वहां 9 बजे पहुंच गई पौने 9 बजे क्योंकि मैंने सोचा 9 से 10 आई विल सिट इन द कार और मे बी उनके ट्रेनिंग हॉल में आई टेक द इंटरव्यू एंड देन आई विल स्टार्ट माई ट्रेनिंग सो मैं वहां पौने 9 बजे पहुंच गई और पौने 9 बजे पहुंचते ही मुझे आई केम टू नो दैट इट हैज कैंसल्ड it has cancelled because of rain and because of the orange alert and all that. And I really realized that I was still in a calm. I was still in peace. It's okay, fine. I will sit here and then I will drive back. Nothing. Yeah, that day I realized that yes, I have maybe the excellence what I'm chasing is yet to be achieved. But yes, I am on the right path. So that is one value which my mentor has given me, that if you take this value, it will change your environment, inner environment, outer environment, everywhere.
Mm.
So yeah,
No complaint, no cribbing.
yeah. No complaints, no criticize. Don't complain, don't criticize, don't condemn.
Wow. I love that. I would love to learn that. I don't criticize. I don't criticize. मेरे पास criticism नहीं. I don't criticize, but yes, I do complain. Yes. So I need to work on that. Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Madan. आज का जो सेशन था उसके अंदर जो मुझको समझ में आया, दैट इज वैल्यूज जो होती है वो ड्राइव करती है हमारे सारे डिसीजंस, एंड दे आर द इमोशनल स्टेट्स वी सीक और अवॉइड. अनकॉन्शियस एंड कॉन्शियस वैल्यूज के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा कुछ पॉइंट टच हुआ था कि मोस्ट पीपल नेवर क्वेश्चन themselves, but you can actively choose yours, just like how Madhulika has just shared. And I feel that yes, that is a very, very beautiful and a powerful value. So I can actively choose to inculcate in my life. That is what Madhulika shared as well, कि मैंने consciously choose किया कि मेरे को नहीं करना, and that should actually not impact me फिजिकली भी नहीं, अब मेरे बॉडी लैंग्वेज में नहीं, मेरी टोन में नहीं, मेरे समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज यू आर नॉट कंप्लेनिंग बिकॉज यू हैव स्वेयर्ड ऑन दिस थिंग कि मैंने कंप्लेन नहीं करनी, बट आपके चलने के तरीके में पता चल जाता है कि भैया सटक गई, राइट. तो जब वो एक्चुअल में आपका बीइंग में आ जाएगा, then it will not show anywhere because it will not happen in the first place itself. And the way Madhulika shared that example कि वहां इतनी देर लगा के पहुंचे हुमायूं टॉम, इट्स लाइक बहुत दूर है, राइट. एंड इतनी बारिश में ड्राइव करके चली भी गई, एंड द सेशन वाज कैंसल्ड एंड शी डिड नॉट रिएक्ट टू इट एट ऑल. that is powerful. मुझको ऐसा लगता है वैल्यूज आर ऑफन फॉर्म्ड while लिंकिंग प्लेजर विद सर्टेन आउटकम्स एंड पेन विद अदर्स. अगर मैं जो वैल्यूज मुझको अपनी लाइफ में इनकलकेट करनी है उसके साथ मैसिव प्लेजर अटैच कर देती हूँ, तो इट विल बी इजियर फॉर मी टू इंक्लूड दोज वैल्यूज इन माई लाइफ. एंड इनफैक्ट जो वैल्यूज होंगी भी उसके साथ भी, जो वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग वैल्यूज होंगी उसके साथ भी कुछ ना कुछ पेन एंड प्लेजर हमारा अटैच्ड होगा कि इफ आई ब्रेक दिस इज द पेन दैट आई एम गोइंग टू वैल्यूज आर ऑल्सो लाइक रूल्स ऑफ माई लाइफ, जैसे जो हम कल डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. एंड क्लैरिटी इज पावरफुल. द वे when you know your true values, जब हमारे को पता, डिसीजन मेकिंग बिकम्स वेरी इजी, राइट. मुझको पता है कि एवर सिंस आई वाज अ किड माय मॉम वाज द डिसाइडिंग हेड, क्या पहनना है, क्यों पहनना है, कैसे पहनना है. विद द रिजल्ट आफ्टर आई गॉट मैरिड and I went with my husband for shopping, I was looking at him and I was thinking कि ये डिसाइड करने वाला है कि मैं क्या पहनूंगी, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता था कि क्या अच्छा लगना है और क्या नहीं अच्छा. Only after some time that I started deciding कि this is what I like and I'm going to buy this. With
And
the
you know,
result,
Karishma, it is very, very powerful. It is very powerful when you start taking small decisions, because small decisions are being taken every minute. That they condition your mind, your personality.
Yes.
because courage is not in a very big decision or in a very big shift. It is always in small
Small
steps.
shoes.
Yeah.
I made sure that I never told my kids what to wear. वो टेढ़े मेढ़े गंदे कपड़े पहने, I don't know, mismatch पहने, but I never ever interfered with what they wanted to wear at home or even if we were going at the parties. I would share with them, ये 5 ड्रेसेस हैं, इसमें से देख लो बेटा क्या पहनना है. दे विल डिसाइड फॉर देमसेल्व्स उसके साथ कौन से शूज पहनने हैं. येलो ड्रेस के साथ मेजेंटा शूज पहनने हैं, ब्लैक पहनने हैं, येलो के साथ येलो पहनने हैं, जो पहनना है पहनो. But it was always their decision because I thought that this was something that I never did in my childhood. कि मेरे को पता ही नहीं था क्या अच्छा लगेगा क्या नहीं अच्छा लगेगा. मुझे I had no choice. I had no power of deciding what to wear, what to eat. मेरे को अभी भी खाने के लिए तो अभी भी मेरे को पता नहीं होता. ठीक है यार जो मर्जी दे दो मैं सब कुछ खा लेती. My kids have a choice. They say हाँ नहीं मुझको तो आज ये खाने का मन है. So these are the small, small things. That's why I've started when I go to a restaurant, I make sure that I order my thing first. कि मुझको ये खाना है ये मेन्यू में से, अभी आप सब देख लो क्या क्या खाना है. So that I own that, decision, that power and that identity कि भैया खुद को पता चले तो सही कि क्या पसंद है. खा के देखूंगी तो पता चल जाएगा. When Tony Robbins was talking about, most of the people don't know what their values are until last 40 years. मुझे नहीं. अभी भी I think about it. है क्या? एक दो पता है मुझको. I'm very rigid and I'm very stubborn with the fact that I'm not having non-veg. I am a finicky who checks the labels and the ingredients in the chocolates as well. कि एग तो नहीं है इसके अंदर. So that is a value that I live by. No matter what happens, I'm not having it. I don't eat cakes. Why? Because I don't trust people. अगर मेरे घर में बेक हुआ होगा केक, then only I'll have it. ठीक है. I know commitment muscle है मेरे को. Consistency is a muscle that I have built over time. Um, things are turning the way I want them to be, but it's all by conscious effort. Otherwise, मुझे नहीं पता कि how I have led last 40 years of my life. Only by influence. ठीक है. Anybody wants to share anything before we wrap up? बाय द वे हमारे को अपनी वैल्यूज ऐसे भी पता चलती हैं. अपनी गैलरी में जाओ, चेक करो किस चीज की स्क्रीनशॉट्स लिए हुए हैं. What is the place you spend most of your time? What is it that you search about? What is it that you buy a lot? Where do you spend your money? Also tells you कि आपके लिए क्या वैल्यू करता है. ठीक है. That is also something that tells you that it is your value. वो अनकॉन्शियसली सबकॉन्शियसली आपको आप वो काम कर रहे होते हो. मेरे को मजा आ रहा है ये वाली रील देख के. क्यों आ रहा है? बिकॉज देयर इज अ वैल्यू अटैच्ड बिकॉज ऑफ विच यू आर लाइकिंग इट. राइट. यस. I am done with what I had to say. Madhulika and Renu, do you have anything more to share or add to this conversation?
Karishma, what happened once, my son is in 12th grade, so his friends were all at my place. They came randomly from school and they asked, आंटी पराठे चनाठे खिला दो. तो I said, okay, fine, चलो. यहाँ पराठे बनाती हूँ तुम्हारे लिए. सो बनाते खाते एक डेढ़ घंटा हो गया. 8-10 बच्चे थे. तो चलो उसके बाद में आई सेड ओके फाइन, नाउ लेट्स डू वन थिंग. सब अपने अपने फोन टेबल पे रख दो. सो एवरीवन अग्रीड. आई सेड ओके फाइन, अब कोई हाथ नहीं लगाएगा. Now we will see only the first 5 feeds. इंस्टा पे पहली 5 फीड्स आपकी क्या आती हैं? Basically, yes, what you watch is what your feed, and that is what your values are.
Yes.
You're right on that. That yes, that is a very
जरा
beautiful.
स्क्रीनशॉट लेके भेजना सब अपनी अपनी इंस्टा के फीड्स.
That yes. Check. What is your feed? You can share the screen. आप तो इसी पे खोल सकते हो.
मेरा तो बड़ा ही फनी है because I have not been using Instagram since long now. बहुत रेयर जा रही हूँ इंस्टाग्राम पे, कुछ स्क्रॉल ही नहीं कर रही हूँ एक्चुअली. बट यस, आई एम शेयरिंग द स्क्रीनशॉट इन द ग्रुप कि मेरा क्या वो आ रहा है.
Okay, I am also sharing it with you. You can open it right now and share your screen. Huh?
मेरे
I'm
इसके
sharing
अंदर
the.
इंस्टाग्राम नहीं ऑन है आई थिंक. रुको, लेट मी सी.
If you'll click on the link, it will play.
कौन सा लिंक?
I've shared you. Okay, let me share the screen. Huh?
अच्छा.
Wait, let me share my screen and wait. Send request. Okay, so you have permitted me to share, huh? Okay. So now I will just give me a minute. I will just open that thing. Entire screen. Okay. I'll share my entire screen. And now I will be.
रुको, लेट मी पॉज द रिकॉर्डिंग.
Yes.
ठीक है. थैंक यू. गॉड ब्लेस यू. हैव अ वंडरफुल डे. दिस इज अ फन
Go.
एक्टिविटी दैट वी आर डूइंग.
Go